to the MGTOW movement, or men going their own way, a phenomenon that has emerged in response to the evolving relationship dynamics in the West. Born out of a sense of disillusionment with traditional relationships, MGTOW is a social statement where men choose to prioritize their own happiness and independence over traditional relationships. They're choosing to live life on their own terms, free from societal pressures and expectations. This shift has brought about a mixed bag of reactions. Some Western women express dissatisfaction, feeling that this could be a step backwards in the push for gender equality. Others see it as a wake-up call, a prompt to reevaluate expectations in relationships. This movement has certainly stirred up a lot of discussion on relationship dynamics. It's a testament to the fact that as society evolves, so too do our concepts of relationships and what they should entail. The MGTOW movement, whether you agree with it or not, is a clear indication of this evolution. But remember, it's all about finding the balance that works for you and respecting the choices of others. After all,
I think everyone at this point has an idea of what's been happening in the public school systems in Western nations, which women overwhelmingly run. Men are routinely portrayed in the media as incompetent, overly aggressive, and unethical.
Thing is, women don't understand how many men actually don't mind providing for them, and how many men want a serious, committed relationship. But where are all the good men? They're just waiting for a woman who's worth providing for.
Do women even realize a significant strata of desirable men are simply not available to them? Note that today's world comprises men who are self-actualized enough to recognize common life strategies are not worth pursuing. This requires unusual insight, intelligence, and initiative. These are valuable men worthy of respect from women who could benefit from the association. But these men recognize that women bring little to no value to their life strategy. So, while not invisible to women, is unattainable for them. This is where all the good men are.
And I don't mean to make you an example out of you guys, but what I'm trying to say is that parents, a lot of the times, protect their daughters from doing undesirable things that will hurt their ability to find a man in the future. Pornography, OnlyFans, all this stuff hurts your chances of finding a suitable husband. You know what I mean? So that's why it's so good to be with parents and why men value that, because your parents are the first line of defense of you tarnishing your ability to find a man. No guy wants to walk down an aisle, right, and marry a woman that he knows was involved in, you know, pornography, OnlyFans, being a like, no guy wants that, man.
They'll smash you, but never take you serious.
Yeah, they might have sex with you. I mean, I don't want to be like an asshole, but have you guys ever asked yourselves why your guys haven't proposed to you?
That's why. Probably because of lifestyle.
Like, yeah. I don't mean to like be an asshole here, but think about it. Your guy's been with you for 7 years, and he's been with you for 7 years. Why haven't they proposed to you?
Because of the lifestyle, the drinking, the OnlyFans, the strip.
It needs to be taught to all young women, straight from school, that they have a limited shelf life in terms of reproduction, and there's a sweet spot when they are most fertile, and they need to seriously consider their options before it's too late. Awareness campaigns need to be made common to high school students so they know the deal and the lonesome, sad future that awaits them if they go the route of career or job over being a mother and wife.
So I personally know a guy in my industry who is like 5'6", 5'5", and he's not the most attractive. And he worked hard, and he makes $2 million a month. And I have to give credit to the fact that when you grow your business, you also grow as a person. So you're right, like, women are probably going to go for his money rather than his looks, but he
not
probably
even his looks, just for him as a him.
Yeah, but he probably also became a better person in process of growing his business. So he might also have more assertive or attractive traits, like he's masculine, you know?
Yeah.
In today's world, it is difficult for you to find an ideal partner because most people care about material things, formalities, and appearances. I searched for a long time for true love, for the pure essence, for tenderness, and I did not find it. And her child became my moon, and he became her sun. But I did not find it, and yet I still believe that love exists, and that it is a very great thing.
Would you rather one evening with me or a year's supply of this sandwich?
Let me tell you something, a pastrami sandwich never asked me to Uber them home at 3 a.m. A pastrami sandwich never gave me no lip or attitude. A pastrami sandwich.
Men are in trouble. Girls these days are too arrogant.
I choose sandwich.
These poor men. Somebody said pastrami. Oh my god. Pastrami for a night or pastrami sandwiches for a year. Somebody else said the best part of a pastrami is that it lets you eat it in peace. I actually didn't realize there was a sexual innuendo in that one. I was just like, oh, you just get to eat in peace.
The modern Western woman is no longer an ideal worth fighting or protecting. Just get out of the way. The best way to defend yourself from a punch is to make sure you are not present when it comes to a strike. I have also learned that women prefer money above all other considerations. The guy can be handsome, young, have many skills, have a good personality, is a great conversationalist, and why not, a great lover. But they don't have as much money as the woman, that is. They are worth less, in real terms, than that woman, and therefore he's not a good mate.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the dating pool for men in 2024. Here we go. Crystal, she's 31. She says, mother of 4, freshly out of a 13-year relationship, so I'm moving slow. Where? Whose metric are we measuring this by? Must respect my kids come first. Must respect my ex, father of my kids. Those two are actually quite actual factual. Healthy, right? This is where it gets ugly. And this is just where it goes straight down to hell. Must be 6 foot or over. Must be a family man, a provider and protector. Must be patient and kind. I'm pretty basic. I work a lot, take care of my house and my kids, and stay to myself. Occasionally, I'd like to go out, but truly, I'd rather be home cuddled up watching movies. A lot of men will date single mothers, but not ones fresh out of a 13-year relationship, and not ones that think their standards are so high that they can set a qualification for height.
The whole idea of strong and independent women is based on an extreme level of feminism that promotes male oppression, and women take over control of their entire lives, in an act of revenge against all the women who have been oppressed by men throughout history. It doesn't make sense, and it has far-reaching negative consequences for the idea of a family, which is on the decline in the Western world. Fact is, women do need men. Most of them realize that too late when they're past the wall hitting their mid-40s and realizing they're missing a big chunk of life.
We're painfully single. The only romance in our lives is in the fake scenarios we imagine to fall asleep.
We're painfully single. Our expectations are so high, the only men that could reach them are fictional.
We're painfully single. We're convinced that the boy we saw at the airport 5 years ago and never saw again was our soulmate.
You've almost got it. Let's keep tugging at this string here. Are we starting to maybe see a pattern? All of the behaviors you've described involve, if not avoiding men entirely, projecting fantasy elements onto unsuspecting himbos that you'll never see again so that you don't have to face the reality of the actual human conditions and the imperfections that lie within it. Wait, so refusing to talk to anybody who isn't a wealthy 6'4" librarian who's obsessed with cooking and cleaning and won't let you lift a finger hasn't been rewarding and empowering for you as a woman? What you are describing is called escapism, and a little bit of gentle escapism can be nice. That's why we like video games and books and sitting on the toilet until our feet go numb, but too much of it will just keep us lonely.
This is not a feminist point of view. Women have always gone after men who had more money than they do. That's human history. Now they, being strong, independent feminists, also only want a man who has more money. Isn't there some kind of peak in their thinking? They're using the same thinking as all women before them in history.
What about successful women?
They struggle. They really struggle because essentially with successful women, here's the thing, men always say, oh, when women earn more, they leave men, but they don't realize why. If a man is dating a woman who knows is unemployed, say if he's on £20,000 a year, he'll still use whatever he has to treat her well, like, look after her. But if he's on £20,000 a year and she's on £50,000, he'll use nothing to invest in her. Now, women don't need your money, but they do need your investment because that's how men fall in love. The more they invest in something, the more they attach to it. If they invest a lot of money in a car, they really care about it. Lost a lot of money into a Bitcoin, they want to see it go up. Invest money into a woman, they want to see it work out. So when they are with a woman that earns more, they invest so little, so walking away seems so easy for them, and it seems so hard for her because she's been the one that's investing in them. So it's very difficult. It's not just the woman who's rich and now she leaves you. The man no longer adds any value. That is the main issue. He doesn't use whatever tiny resources he has on the woman like he normally would.
It is only about money, so they want to have the richer guys, which are what women always wanted. How is that feminist? I wonder how many great guys have been discarded because the woman reached that enlightened stage where she wanted what every woman in history has wanted. And now, being near the end of their reproductive cycle, they find going it alone, not being everything it's cracked up to be. Isn't that weird?
My channel is pretty much built for women to become better partners for their husbands or for their boyfriends. And a lot of women hate my channel. If you hate my personality, that's one thing. But if you hate my message of how to be a great partner, and then look in the mirror and say, why don't I have a great husband? I think we just found the answer. Sorry.
Women play the victim successfully throughout their lives in order to achieve various objectives such as financial gain, receiving attention, or avoiding consequences. Women en masse are now raising young boys to believe they are evil and toxic. They are on a mission to devalue and obliterate all facets of traditional masculinity. If Western women want to pursue their path, men will get passports for foreign women who are best trained to be feminine and have less pain and stress. What most older women also don't realize is that no decent man would enter into a relationship with them when they're so desperate. As a man, the last thing you want to do is involve someone in your life because, in her eyes, you'll do. The prevalence of men dying from prostate cancer is 3 times higher than women who die from breast cancer. But all we hear about are women's issues. Try finding a dedicated men's clinic or other resources only for men. Men are also more likely to die by suicide and do not live as long as women who significantly outnumber them in nursing homes or assisted living facilities where they receive ongoing care. Most advanced degrees are now earned by women who enjoy vast support in the form of grants and scholarships, and have quite literally driven males away from higher education. Meanwhile, women are most often portrayed as virtuous, peaceful, and highly competent. It is women who very often manipulate men to become violent on their behalf, while simultaneously perpetuating the narrative that all men are needlessly aggressive and destructive. In reality, however, women are just as aggressive and perhaps even more destructive. How many men are assaulted or murdered by other men over a woman? Just look up the statistics. Women are quite simply trained from birth to become master manipulators. Modern women in the West currently enjoy more options, support, and privilege than any man throughout history. Still, do you think there's a patriarchy? Give me a break. Feminists have been training women to be men. That's pretty much a prerequisite for a professional career these days. But it's also a formula for failure in your personal life. A feminine woman and a man go together like a nut and a bolt. A masculine woman and a man go together like 2 bolts. The masculine professional woman may disguise her masculine nature to get married, but eventually, it will express itself as competition with the man for dominance and control in the family. That leads to divorce for irreconcilable differences, not surprisingly. The fact is that women trying to be masculine in a home is what leads to high divorces. Men and women have distinct roles. They should complement each other and not compete. Men head the home, women support as helpers. Remember what you're being taught before you even think about simping in front of some hot woman who wants you to pay for her college tuition. Women sure do seem to complain a lot despite being given the freedom to play life on easy mode. Most homeless individuals are in fact men. Men are far more likely to be assaulted, murdered, and incarcerated, especially since women are rarely held accountable for their actions. Men are often forced into military service and at the very least, must register for the draft. Women, despite infiltrating the armed forces wherein they receive the prestige associated with service, rarely perform truly dangerous jobs, and are very frequently allowed to enter positions without meeting the predetermined standards. Thanks for watching The Circle of Kings. As always, we're looking forward to your support. So please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything all kings like yourself need to know.